Okay. So now we've been to UK. You've had surgery.
That
It's
just
not
has
working.
yeah.
You're having what do you say 30, 40 seizures a day?
About right.
About right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm still trying to, like I said, I was still trying to do swimming and still trying to sing in the choir. And so the choir director's wife, actually,
Okay.
Nan Price, saw how much, what a life I was living, and thought, I can really help this person. And she really was a tool of God, and took off and she's a seventh generation cattle farmer in Winchester, Kentucky, and really, had a flexible schedule and just started. I couldn't go to the grocery store, so she started bringing me food when I needed it.
Wow.
And making sure I drank plenty of water, and because I was totally like I said, I was throwing up all the time, so I was completely dehydrated.
Okay.
So she'd bring me lots and lots of Gatorade and force me to drink it, and gave Ashley some breaks with doctor's appointments and started taking me to doctor's appointments, and really kind of just stepped in and decided that this was something that she wanted to help me with. And
So actually, these two people, Ashley and what did you say?
Nan Price.
And Nan Price. Between Ashley and Nan Price, they were kind of like your saving grace.
Yes.
Quite literally.
Yes.
Yeah, because certainly you weren't able to. You were kind of just existing.
Right. I think about. There was no personality to me. I was lifeless. I was always afraid that this was a seizure that was going to end all seizures. And, they go through the statistics of what having uncontrollable seizures does to the body. If you think about what it's doing, it's doing more things to the body than, that it's used to, that its normal functioning is.
That's true, yeah.
And it was just very nerve-wracking for me. I always thought, what if this is the last one? I haven't lived. I haven't done anything. I've existed as an epileptic, and that's it.
After everything you're going through, that to me that's got to put you into a depression. It has to.
Well,
and then that's going to work on you.
And I managed because of. I knew that there had to be something more. I knew that this couldn't be the end of my life. And yeah, I'm sure there were times I felt really depressed. Not that I would care to admit them, but life is really hard sometimes, and I just always figured that this was just one of those battles that I got to fight.
One of those hard spots.
Yeah, this was the battle, pick your weapon.
Yeah.
Courage.
Wow.
We're not going to have a cowardly lion on set. Okay. We have our courage with us.
Okay.
And I knew that there had to be hope somewhere, and especially when, Nan stepped into the picture and started helping out, it was like, there's more. And my doctor was very supportive. Dr. Bensalem, I think we formed over that summer an emotional connection because I saw her so much.
Yeah.
And it was every week, and all the nurses in the reception knew me and Ashley, and we did our thing. We got up that morning around 9 o'clock. We'd leave to go to Lexington. After our doctor's appointment, we stopped at the Fazoli's right near the hospital, and we did the same thing every single week. That was our life, and it was just, it was amazing to have someone that was so dedicated to helping me stay positive. Our humor is what gets us through everything. And she was. It's just that we were there, and I managed to stay somewhat positive about the situation, knowing there was hope. And Dr. Bensalem, we started sending my records to other hospitals like University of Alabama. They've got a good neuro center, Mayo Clinic, other places. And then she sent my records to, she's like, well, I did my residency at the Cleveland Clinic. Maybe we should send him there. That's a good hospital. So she sent it there, and that April, they accepted me for a week of observation, and did the whole EMU. Like I went up there for
EMU.
epilepsy monitoring.
Okay.
Well, I went up there for a doctor's appointment for a
Okay.
consultation, and that's all I had in hand was a note that I had a consultation. And they said, "Man, we need to get you in." And they said, "We just had a spot open. Someone left, checked out this morning, and we're
We got
gonna
a
fit
hot
you
bed
in.
for you, huh?
We're gonna fit you in." So I stayed there for a week. I remember it was Easter because I was totally upset because it was missing Easter. I'm being in the hospital.
yeah.
You got something about these holidays.
Yes, it helps me remember.
Okay.
So I was there for about a week at Easter, and then I came back to Kentucky, and I mean, all the while,
Now, how were you managing to pay for all this? All this.
state medical card.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and the Cleveland Clinic basically, I mean, because I had a Kentucky state medical card, was not really covering
They
it.
weren't happy about
No,
that, were
but,
they?
but they saw a need and were treating me anyways.
Really. Well,
Yeah.
because I'm wondering, I'm thinking, wow, how are you managing to
Yeah.
do this? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go.
So we ended they said, well, we're going to have a meeting in it's a wonderful hospital, the Cleveland Clinic. They bring in the neurologist, they bring in the radiologist, they bring in the epilepsy specialist, they bring in the neurosurgeon, and anyone else that has anything to do with my case. The psychologist that saw me when they did a neuropsych evaluation. They bring everyone into a roundtable discussion, and they all figure out what is going to help me, what they can do for me. And they decided that they would try again at brain surgery.
Oh, wow.
Because they received my records from the UK hospital as to what happened there and how it was not very successful.
Uh-huh.
And they said, well, we think we can try this.
Yeah.
So Dr. Bingaman at the
Now, what kind of chance were they giving you that this was going to
well,
actually work for you?
percentage-wise, I don't put a lot of stock in them just
Okay.
because my life has not been a percentage life.
Okay.
I pretty much meet the exception every time. So
Okay.
I wasn't real interested in percentages. I just wanted to know what their confidence was. And I said, if this was your child, would you do this surgery? Would you expect that it would help?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yes, I would do it for my child.
Okay.
And
so that
that's-
was good enough for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they took me on, and then I spent the whole summer in and out of emergency rooms, getting the blood work for the felpatol, felbamate, and experiencing all of those side effects. And so we're up to August about here, and I'm in about August, we're about 30 pills a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And so then still no control, no relief from the epilepsy. We're still skyrocketing 40 to 60 seizures a day. And they call and schedule an appointment
Wow.
for October.
So here we go back to, this is almost a year
Yeah.
because you
Started that Thanksgiving the year before.
in
Yeah.
November, so almost a
Yeah.
complete year.
Yeah.
You've been living with this basically an intolerable situation.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they scheduled the surgery, and I thought, well, what am I going to do after surgery? Because they've told me that that the chance of me being paralyzed, I will be, but it will come back. And the use of my limbs, like they said, we'll remove it, and you will be paralyzed on the left side of your body. It will come back.
Oh,
It would be
wow.
like a stroke victim, and that's exactly what that's what it would be comparative to. And that's exactly what it was. It came back, but they said you will be paralyzed on the left side of your body.